everyone, and welcome to graduation for OR475. My name is Mallory Hofer, and I am the class supervisor for this class. We are live streaming from the Oregon campus in our visitor center, so welcome to everyone, both in person and for everyone watching online. We're excited for everyone to be here today. So we are here today to celebrate the 4 new Canine Buddy teams, as well as the 5 new guide dog teams that are our newest graduates from guide dogs. We have a lot of people to thank. First and foremost, thank you so much to all of our puppy raisers. You guys are the foundation of our program, and we wouldn't be able to do it if you guys didn't spend a year and a half raising these amazing dogs for us so that they're ready to come learn to be guide dogs. To our donors, thank you so much for your financial support. It funds everything we do for our dogs, our clients, the support for the teams after they go home. Thank you so much. And last but not least, to our volunteers and our employees. We have so many volunteers on campus. They help in the residence, serving meals to the clients, driving people to the airports, washing dogs, making dog food for us. It's just amazing how many things our volunteers do. And to the staff, especially our canine welfare and training technicians who are scattered throughout, thank you guys for all of the work you do. You guys are the ones here on the weekends, the holidays, the evenings, and you keep our whole department running, so thank you. Next, we're going to show a short video about our mission. It's audio described, so you will hear 2 voices, both the narrator and the audio description.
Locals, Guide Dogs for the Blind, Guide Dogs for the Blind International.
Hello, I'm Noah Wiley.
Among nurses of litter.
There's a special magic about Guide Dogs for the Blind.
Puppy bellies and wiggling tails.
Some might say it's the dogs.
Puppies squirm in a pile.
These courageous guides who change people's lives.
2 black puppies at a gate. Outside, a woman hugs her guide dog.
There's magic in the people, too.
A man walks with his dog. An older puppy licks a woman's cheek.
Like the volunteer puppy raisers.
Volunteers with puppies.
Who socialize and care for puppies in their homes.
Out walking in their neighborhood.
Encouraging them to explore new surroundings.
Riding the train.
And giving them love and guidance.
In the park.
To help prepare them to be a guide dog.
And in a group at the airport.
And, when it's time, part ways so that the puppy they have raised can go on to change someone's life.
A team on a city sidewalk.
When dogs return to our campuses, our world-class instructors work their magic to maximize each dog's potential to become highly skilled, smart, and loving companions.
Instructors with dogs.
Teaching each dog how to safely guide someone who is blind or visually impaired through the world when they're at home.
Relaxing by a fireplace.
Hiking.
On a forest trail.
Visiting friends.
At a picnic table.
Catching a plane.
Navigating baggage claim.
Heading downtown.
In a city crosswalk.
Across town.
Along a riverfront.
Taking public transportation.
At a train station.
Or heading to work.
Riding an escalator.
They will even disobey a command if it means keeping their handlers safe.
People with guides in their neighborhoods.
Those who are on the other end of the harness might say the magic is there, moving freely through the world with ease, confidence, and independence. Along the way, helping them develop new relationships, connect with new people, building stronger, more compassionate communities.
A group of people with their guide dogs in Chinatown.
We know there is magic in these partnerships.
A woman hugs her dog.
The bonds that are formed.
Another kisses her dog's head.
The places they go.
A group of people and guide dogs at the Golden Gate Bridge.
The dreams that come true.
A woman leads small boys on a walk with her dog.
It's in the care.
Playing in a yard.
The friendship.
A woman pets a dog.
The lifetime of love.
Lying in her lap.
It's the ability to live a fuller life without limits.
A woman scales an indoor climbing wall.
At Guide Dogs for the Blind, you are part of an amazing community that works together to make these partnerships possible at no cost to our clients.
Vets give checkups.
A community that helps us care for the health of our dogs over their lifetime. A community that provides the necessary training to help prepare potential clients for the guide dog lifestyle.
Instructors with clients.
A community that gives children in our youth programs the opportunity to experience the magic of a guide dog, to see if having a dog may be right for them.
Children interact and play with dogs.
A community that makes dreams of inclusion, enhanced confidence,
Clients walk with dogs.
mobility, independence, and companionship come true.
A man with his dog on the beach.
That's the magic of Guide Dogs for the Blind.
Share an orange sunset.
And it's all because of you.
He hugs his dog. Blackout. Logos. Guide Dogs for the Blind and Guide Dogs for the Blind International. The light fades to black.
Next, I have the pleasure to introduce our excellent instructor team for this class, so I'll invite them to come up. We have Jenny Powell, an apprentice instructor. Savannah Prichow, sorry. April Macy, who is not here today, and Richard McCauley. Thank you guys, it was a wonderful class, and I'm going to hand the microphone over to Richard to introduce our new Canine Buddy partnerships.
All right, how we doing today? It's a guide dog graduation. Thank you all for coming out today. It's such a pleasure to see you all. I have the privilege of talking about some of our recent Canine Buddy recipients and teams. So please bear with me. It's a little bit newer bid we're doing with our graduations. So the first thing I'm going to talk about in regard to the Canine Buddy program is what it is. And it is a program that is one of our core client programs, and teams have access to a similar level of service as our guide clients, including the Veterinary Financial Assistance Program and follow-up support. We're very excited because last fall, we went ahead and expanded our program to serve clients ages 5 and above, including adults, all across the US and now Canada. We are also excited to have the ability to reach more individuals within our community of visual impairment and allow for greater inclusion with the clients we serve. And then lastly, just want to stress that Canine Buddy dogs are not service dogs, but they are wonderful companions that bring joy and confidence, also responsibility, and that wonderful connection to the GDB community. First up, we have Tom Ambrosius of Alturas, California, received Priya, a female brindle Labrador Retriever raised by Lauren Myers and Denise Bolt of Logan, Utah. So on the screen, we have a picture of them. So we have a photo description that I'm going to read aloud. So the photo description is: a smiling Tom is leaning down with his hand on Priya's back. They are standing next to a small creek in a woodland setting. Lots of paper, sorry. Next up, we have Noah Folder and Vuitton, aka Winston, who was raised by Emily and Christine Cooper of Renton, Washington, Catherine Corman of Renton, Washington. So, yep. So Winston is a male yellow lab, and so the photo description on the screen is Noah and Winston, aka Vuitton, aka Winston, both sit on a sofa. Noah is leaning on Winston and has a big smile. Next up, I have a letter from Catherine Corman, one of Winston's raisers. It was a huge joy to co-raise Vuitton, now called Winston, with the Cooper family. I remember greeting Vuitton at SeaTac Airport. He had traveled from California to Seattle along with his littermates, Venus and Vespa. He was friendly, cute, and the largest of the pups. We spent quite a few minutes looking up how to correctly pronounce Vuitton. I now understand that his name is Winston. Winston spent the first couple of weeks with the Coopers, and then my family had a chance to host him as a young pup. When he was 4 months old, we started taking turns being the raiser every 2 weeks. Winston got along really well with our dog, cat, and horse. Winston enjoyed running around the backyard, playing tug with us, exploring the snow when we had it, and lying by the fire alongside our career-changed black lab. At night, Winston's favorite place to sleep was in a little round red bed that had been gifted to us by another member of our puppy club. We offered larger dog beds, but Winston would choose the little one. I was happy that he enjoyed sleeping next to my side of the bed. We took Winston on a lot of outings with our puppy club and on our own. Our most frequent destination was the local library. I love books, and Winston was very patient as I perused the new bookshelf. We often ended up talking to children and their parents, telling them all about Guide Dogs for the Blind and giving them one of Vuitton's trading cards. We are delighted that Vuitton has become Winston the buddy dog and wish him and Noah many happy adventures and snuggles. So the photo description on the screen is Catherine holds the 8-week-old yellow lab puppy Vuitton as he nuzzles her ear at SeaTac Airport. All right, next up we have, we're still talking about Noah and Winston. This picture, we have a mature yellow lab puppy Vuitton, stands very alert and interested in 4-inch deep snow in a fenced forested backyard. All right, then as mentioned in the letter, we have the library. So we have guide dog puppy in training Vuitton wearing a green training vest and black head halter, lies on the floor facing the camera in front of a bookshelf in the local library. Sorry, so many papers. Next up, we have Lykso, Mususa, and Tartine, raised by Jody Coleman of Corvallis, Oregon, Katie Carvin of Colorado Springs, Colorado, Miranda Moyer of Corvallis, Oregon, River Ribeiro of Corvallis, Oregon, and Penny Steele of Lebanon, Oregon. The photo description is Lykso is sitting on a park bench along with mother and sister on his left and his father on his right. Tartine is sitting at Lykso's feet wearing a light blue bandana. The family is smiling at the camera. Next up, we have Wyatt Witry and Shannon, raised by Aaron and Rebecca Scott of Roanoke, Texas. Wyatt, together with his mother and father, is squatting down on a pathway in a park setting. Sitting next to Wyatt is Shannon, wearing a light blue bandana. Next, I have a short letter from the Witry family. Shannon has made Wyatt so happy and has his built-in best friend. She's given him more responsibilities in feeding her, walking, and overall taking care of her. She's given him more confidence in that he has such a special, well-behaved dog. Overall, she has been the best addition to our family. And then we have a letter from one of Shannon's raisers, Aaron Scott. Shannon was truly a blessing to raise. I received her at 8 weeks old, a few months before COVID-19 in 2020. I spent countless days stuck in the house, training, playing, and taking naps, right with Shannon by my side. We spent 3 months in lockdown. Our bond grew to be so special. We were able to both grow and become our best selves. Shannon was such a joy to train, although she was stubborn and silly at times. Seeing her grow into a wonderful buddy dog has been so rewarding. The blessing she brings to the Witry family is truly spectacular, and they couldn't have had a better match. I hope she continues to be a positive presence to many people she comes across in the world. Best regards, Aaron Scott. And that is it for our Canine Buddy teams. Let's give one more round of applause for all of them. And here we have Jenny and the rest of our graduates.
Hello, everybody. As Richard said, I am Jenny Powell. I'm an apprentice instructor here, and I have the honor and privilege of introducing class OR475. So first off, we have Ted Cook of Toronto, Ontario. Ted is a software developer for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and in his spare time, he enjoys going on walks and meeting new people. Ted was positively influenced by guide dog users in his teenage years and is thrilled to be receiving his first guide dog, Dempsey, a male yellow Labrador Golden Retriever cross raised by Terry Tomette of Vail, Arizona.
This has been such a long wait. I was just remembering about when I was 11 years old, and shortly after I started going visually impaired, and my mother joined a club for parents of visually impaired children. And she met this mother who lived not too far from us, and she had two visually impaired children who were roughly my age, and we decided to meet at a park that was about halfway between us. And the older child, who's a year older than me, she had a guide dog at the age of 12. We had our pet dog, and we meet in the middle of this park, and my pet dog is jumping all over her guide dog. The dog's just calmly standing there. And she takes off the harness, and suddenly it's like a transformation. The guide dog comes like any old silly dog. And it absolutely blew our minds at how well disciplined. That was my friend Roisin and our dog Penny. Throughout the rest of my teenage years, I knew a number of other guide dogs and went to summer camp with friends with guide dogs, and I was always just so impressed at how much better behaved they were than any other pet dog you'd ever meet. So I just had such positive impressions, and yet I kept on using my white cane because, well, people would ask me, you ever consider getting a guide dog? I typically say something like, well, I've seen some really well-behaved guide dogs, but I think this cane follows orders even better. I tell it to go right, and it seems to consistently go right for me. Or I'd say something like, this cane's rather low maintenance. I've never had it poop on my carpet. Well, then as time went on, and especially towards the end of my university days, I had these chronic problems with my neck that were probably caused by some combination of genetic disorder and not knowing how to treat her right, or I don't know what else, and things kept getting worse, and it was difficult to pin down all the different things I was doing to make it worse, or things I could do to make it better, and it became clear that even just the movement of using a white cane, it was actually one of the things that was straining my neck muscles, because arms are anchored into the shoulders and shoulders are anchored into the neck and upper back, and there are a lot of big muscle groups, but using the white cane is a lot of fine motor movement, and I guess maybe the big muscles aren't designed for the fine motor movement so well, and I don't know. It was certainly, I had to use my cane for an extended period of time. It was getting noticeably difficult, and I thought, maybe it's about time I second guessed this whole idea of getting a dog, because certainly one part of maturing into adulthood is learning that, there's a lot of things that are responsibility, but most of the things that you ever learn to love are things that are responsibilities. And so I remember one June day doing my, what they call a Juno walk with my home interview, where someone came out and walked with me in my neighborhood, and I was holding onto a harness and they were leading me around, and I really started to feel like this is a much more comfortable way to travel, and I was still hesitant about the whole decision because I never been responsible for caring for another living being of any sort. It was really starting to grow on me, and then finally in November, they got back to me and said, you're accepted and we're ready for you to fly down in the spring. And it even then, I'm not sure how ready I felt, because it just seemed like it'd be such a big difference, and there's so many thoughts. But in the beginning of March, I got a call back and they said, there's this disease thing that's starting up and they're calling it COVID, and they think they might close the borders. And I thought, well, I lived through SARS and that was a bunch of headlines and it was nothing special, and COVID's not going to be anything, and okay, I guess I understand why you're canceling on me, but I'll hear back from you in a couple months, I'm sure. That was 3 years ago, and I was waiting for so long, and as the endless months went on, it just became more and more apparent that not only I needed a dog to help me travel, but that I was ready for the responsibility and I was ready for the companionship, and it was just time already. And it wasn't until April when I finally got a flight booked. Yes. Thank you. So that was to San Rafael, to the other campus. I flew down there, and I trained with the dog. That was going pretty good. His name was Underlay. I thought we worked fairly well together, except he was a little too true to his name. He was a bit fast, but first time we walked out of the lounge and I told him to go forward, it's like, whoa. I said forward, not underlay. But we were working on it, and I was so amazed at how much we were improving, and he was going my pace, and I was learning to go his pace. But then, after just about a week together, he suddenly decided he kind of liked barking. And very suddenly on me, his career was ended. And that day I realized I could cry in a way I never knew I could. I just kept feeling like I was done crying. I would stop. Supervisor kept telling me there that they didn't know for sure how long I'd have to wait, but that it certainly wouldn't be another 3.5, 4 years. And Thankfully, it was only 3 months, and I came back here. And they have Dempsey here for me. And Dempsey's a little slower. He's a bit more of an endurance guy, not a sprinter like Andale, and that's much more to my liking. And he's calm enough to handle the chaos of downtown Toronto. And he's such a gentle giant that it doesn't hurt my arm and my neck muscles so much to handle him. And he's a beautiful tall dog. I couldn't ask for anything better, and so I'm so grateful this moment's finally come after so long. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, like Ted said, he's a gentle giant, and he was actually one of the easiest dogs to raise. Always wanted to please, and I found out real early that if I give him an inch, he'll take a mile. He used to put his paw in my hand, and that's what we call holding hands. Well, then pretty soon it was like, now two are on my lap. Then pretty soon we're standing up, climbing into my lap. So, and I hear now that he continues to do that. And so I'm really glad that, Ted has bonded with him, and it seems like they're going to be a great match, and wish them the best of luck in Toronto. And hopefully they're going to be a great team.
Okay, next we have Miss Amy Dixon of Encinitas, California. Amy is a Tokyo 2020 Paralympian and is the president of Glaucoma Eyes International. She is receiving her third guide dog, Bombay, a female yellow Labrador retriever raised by Amelia, Hannah, and Robin Kester of Molalla, Oregon, and Jenny Collins of Portland, Oregon. This team is sponsored by the Sharon D. Lund Foundation of Orange, California.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy, and this is Bombay. Yes, very excited. So I am so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to the Kester family and the Collins family for all the hard work that they've put into this firecracker of a little young lady. She is a little pocket rocket. Everything that I dreamed of. She's my third dog from my third school. My first dog was a yellow lab from Guiding Eyes, and my second was a shepherd from Fidelco. And I decided to go back to a lab because I was tired of doing Sudoku puzzles for my shepherd because he needed a lot of brain stimulation. And be careful what you wish for because she's even smarter. So now I've got to figure out a way to outsmart my smart dog. So thank you guys for overly doing a great job. and thank you for Guide Dogs for the Blind for breeding and training such an amazing young lady. She's super fun. As Jenny had mentioned, I'm a Tokyo 2020 Paralympian, and the wonderful thing about Bombay is that she's going to get lots of stamps on her passport this year. We will be going over the next 2 months to, Palm Springs, San Francisco, Ireland, Santiago, Chile, where else? West Virginia, Virginia Beach, she's doing it all. So I fly every 10 days to 2 weeks for my job. I'm a patient advocate for a company called I See Better, which works with glaucoma patients. And so she's going to get lots of frequent flyer miles and see lots of adventures and meet a lot of amazing people. And I was a cane user before I had a guide dog, and much like my classmate Ted, it's just a different way of being perceived in the world. Every single person in this room knows why we're doing what we're doing with these dogs, but having the confidence and having that companionship, there's no price that you can put on it. My my eye disease is an autoimmune condition, a type of uveitis. So every time I get exposed to a bacteria or a virus, I lose more vision and it attacks my body in the form of rheumatoid arthritis. And so I've had a really, really rough 2 years. And physically, it was really challenging, and mentally, even more so. And if I hadn't had the amazing companionship of my guide dog by my side to not only keep me safe, but also just to get me through those rough doctor's appointments and make me laugh and be their goofy Labrador or Shepherd self and, make the doctor laugh and break the silence of uncomfortable diagnoses and uncomfortable chemotherapy treatments, I can't even imagine how I would have gotten through it. And it's thanks to everybody in this room and everybody who's involved with Guide Dogs for the Blind that's able to be possible. I mean, the hundreds of hours or thousands of hours that have been put into this dog clearly show she is such a rock star. I'm so excited because I run a camp called No Sight, No Limits, and I think she's going to be our mascot because there really is no limits to what this dog can do. I'm excited to do dog sports with her in rally obedience. I'm excited to travel with her. And again, that confidence that comes with coming with a guide dog is something that's immeasurable. And all of you who do that and contribute to that, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I feel empowered, I feel excited, I feel safe, and I get to laugh every day thanks to everyone in this room. So thank you.
I'm trying not to cry at the moment. Bombay was our third puppy and our first to graduate. I'm Amelia, and I spent a while trying to come up with what to say to tell everybody here and Amy how special this dog is, and I don't think I could say anything that you don't already know, because Bombay is very upfront, and she's very, very good about what she wants and what she knows. Bombay is wise beyond her years. She's an old soul, always ready to do her best, no matter what you ask. She power walks into any challenge with a wagging tail and an open heart. I don't think she's ever met anyone she doesn't love. She's always ready for a cuddle, even if you aren't. She'll find any way to wiggle into your lap or cuddle up to you, and if you need to get up off the floor, best of luck to you. When we got Bombay off the puppy truck, I knew she was going to be a very fun puppy. I've always known she was destined for something great. From a young age, she was ready to do anything thrown at her. When we dropped her off Christmas Day to begin training, I knew it wasn't a goodbye, but it was an I'll see you later. I think everybody here has heard the saying that it takes a village to raise a puppy, and that is very, very true. I wanted to have a way to cheer everybody in her team on, so we started calling ourselves Team Bombay. It includes everybody that has ever had a hand in her, from our fantastic co-raiser, Jenny Collins, to my family, my mom, my sister, and my father, to our amazing club leaders, our CFR Linda, and every raiser or anybody that has ever looked at her, talked to her, talked about her, asked questions, everything. So I would officially love to invite you to Team Bombay.
Okay, crying is completely off the books now, so sorry. Bombay is a puppy that grabs your heart and holds on. Feel free for a puppy hug. She will ever be in our hearts and in our minds, and we are so proud of where she's going and what she's done, including giving us the confidence to raise even more puppies. Some a little challenging. We won't name names, Franny. When we got Bombay off the puppy truck, standing in front of this campus, and of course getting the 3 hints, which we did not get, we had help from the peanut gallery, which we appreciated because they weren't giving us the puppy, and we wanted the puppy, 4 arms waiting desperately to hold her. We know that Bombay will succeed in everything she does, and with her constant enthusiasm and her ability to work, that serious face that she gets, and the moment you release her, that spastic little puppy that we all know so well. Her snuggles and her cuddles are unmatched by any dog we've ever had. She does them with such exuberance, and Emma's right, you're not getting off the floor. Unless you can get someone to sit down and she's gonna take your place. Her power naps are like the Energizer Bunny, 5 minutes and she's ready to go. I hope you're ready. Emma's right, dropping her off on Christmas morning was extremely hard, but we are so proud to have a part in raising her, and we are so blessed to have had Jenny as a co-raiser, because everything she knows about the city, Jenny probably taught her. We did the farm aspect, so if you want to put her next to a pig, a horse, a dog, a chicken, that was us. But all of the traveling and all of the fun experiences, she definitely had an amazing raiser to have that part in her life. And we wish you and Bombay the best.
Good afternoon. My name is Jenny Collins. I want to thank everyone for attending today, whether in person or on the live stream. As you've already heard, it takes a village to raise a guide dog puppy. And I want to recognize just a few of those villagers. First, the Kester family, who generously agreed to let me join them on this journey after my previous puppy was selected as a breeder, and I knew it would be several months before she had her first litter. Second, to all of Bombay's trainers, but especially to Katie and Lanny Joe, who went above and beyond to provide transportation to and from foster care. And finally, the commuter foster care families, who open their homes to these dogs as they go through formal training. So thank you, Heidi. And one more. Thank you to the Portland West Puppy Club for donating the cost of Bombay's guide dog harness. From the day we met, Bombay was destined for the spotlight, literally. Her arrival on the puppy truck was captured in the video, Puppy Delivery Oregon Campus 2021. It's extra special to have this moment recorded for all time, other than our terrible performance at the name game. Bali, Bourbon, Bombay. We went on many adventures together, including Sun River, museums, festivals, swimming, plays, the Oregon coast, concerts, sporting events, and our big trip to San Francisco to attend the 80th anniversary Canine Heroes Gala at the Ritz-Carlton, where Bombay wore a pearl necklace and met Aria Mia Loberti, the star of All the Light We Cannot See. Bombay became so good at posing for photos that my iPhone asked me daily if I wanted to upgrade my iPhone storage. So, as I thought about the person who would be worthy of having this special dog as their guide, there were several criteria that came to mind. First, her partner would need the energy of a Paralympic triathlete. This person would need the composure of a Dale Carnegie professional speaker, the heart of a patient advocate and coach, the tenacity of a world traveler, and the sophistication of a sommelier. And last but not least, Bombay's perfect partner would need to be a kindred spirit, already planning her guide dog puppy's shower for 2 weeks after they arrived home together. So last Thursday, when I read the name Amy Dixon and started Googling, come on, puppy raisers, we all do it. It seemed too good to be true, but here we are, an amazing dog, an amazing human, and a match that couldn't be more perfect. Congratulations, Amy and Bombay.
Next up, we have Mr. John Furlan. John lives in Loveland, Colorado with his wife, Anne. He is a retired rehabilitation counselor and enjoys cycling, walking, playing guitar, and singing. Today, John is receiving his second guide dog, Nairobi, a male yellow Labrador raised by Sarah and Robert Arrington of Kingman, Arizona.
Hello, everyone. Hey, I first want to acknowledge the people on stage here with me. Nairobi is their 16th puppy that they raised. And not only that, 14 of them have become guide dogs. Okay. I want to thank Richard especially as my, instructor who helped me. He was professional. He helped me to gain the confidence to work with Nairobi. He and I are going to be a great team getting back to Colorado. I walk a lot, and I'm sure he will get me out there. I want to recognize, even the kitchen staff here. Everybody loves the food here. Catherine, Carolyn, Carrie, Kelly, all those volunteers, just wonderful job that you have done while we're here for 2 weeks. All of the staff, the nurses pay attention to all of us. The RAs do exceptional things. I can't believe all the things the RAs do. I just want to thank everyone for what you do. This place exudes love, and it's great. And so does he. Yeah. And also want to thank my wife at home. She's been so supportive. She is the best person that I know. And thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and as John said, this is Nairobi, our 16th guide dog, and he was so much fun to raise. He works hard and plays hard, and he got the nickname Big Wigs because he likes to wiggle a lot, and so when he plays, then he just does a whole body wiggle, and that's just a little taste of just how goofy he is, except then how seriously he can take work too. He was raised in a classroom, and so he'll walk through hundreds of students during a fire drill and focus completely through that and just do really well. So he has been such a joy, and we are so proud of him and so thankful and so excited for John and Nairobi and so sure that they're going to be a great team.
Last, but certainly not least, is Miss Charlie Powell of Overland Park, Kansas. She has a tiny chihuahua named Bella who weighs 6 whole pounds. And today, Charlie is receiving her first guide dog, Flint, who is a male yellow Labrador raised by Devin and Jason Prio of Littleton, Colorado. Charlie is very excited to introduce Flint to her son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter, Ruby.
Thank you. My name is Charlie Powell. This is Flint, and he is my first guide dog. And first and foremost, I would like to thank my son and my daughter-in-law, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be here. Here. Sit. Thank you. He lays down because he knows Mima's going to talk. So, but my son and daughter-in-law were at my house one day, and my son walked out. His name is Luke. And he said, Mom, he said, what would you think about getting a guide dog? And I said, I don't know, I had never thought about it. And so he didn't say any more. He just went and got in the car and they left. And then my daughter-in-law and I, her name is Annie, we were on our way to Wichita to visit my sister. And she said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I need to talk to you about something." And I thought, uh-oh, what have I done to Ruby now? That's my granddaughter. So she says, what about, do you want to try to get a guide dog? Would you be interested in that? And I said, yes, I would be. And she said, right answer. She said, I already have your application filled out and ready to mail it. She said, but I got to thinking, and I thought maybe I might ought to ask you first. And so I am so proud of my children. And I want to thank the raisers of Flint. They have done such a wonderful job. He is such a wonderful dog, a loving dog. And we just attached to each other immediately. And I especially want to thank my instructor, Richard. He is absolutely fabulous. He was very patient, kind, but I will say the first day, on Monday, he was telling me so much stuff. I thought, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know if I'll remember all this. And he said, oh, yes, you will. You'll remember. It'll get better. And by the end of the week, you'll be a pro. Well, he had lots of expectations. And I want to thank Mallory for helping with my See, Meemaw's already forgot. So I want to thank her for helping me with getting along and figuring out everything and knowing what to do and not to do. And I want to thank the guide dogs. Hey. Lay down. He said, uh-oh, she's not finished yet. But I want to thank the guide dog organization. It is totally wonderful. The whole staff here is wonderful. And when we weighed Flint, he had gained 1.5 pounds, and I had fed him exactly like he was supposed to be. And I thought, if he's gained 1.5 pounds, how much have I gained? The food is wonderful. So thank you all very, very much for letting me have this dog. And he will be so well taken care of and so loved.
Okay, I'm going to read a note from his puppy raisers, and it says, "It was a pleasure having the opportunity to raise Flint, our little Flinty Flintstone. He was full of energy, was happy to train and work, and loved his cuddles. Flint was always an entertaining dog. From his interesting sleeping positions to his never-ending love of chasing and throwing the jolly ball, he could be a giant goofball. When it came to training, Flint was all business. Eager to learn his skills, he remained focused and was quick to learn. We were proud of his desire and ability to work. We are saddened we could not attend graduation in person, but we are extremely excited for the partnership between Flint and Charlie. We know they will each be a loving partner to the other. We cannot wait to hear how Charlie's life is enhanced with the addition of a guide dog such as Flint. Sending all of our love, the Prio family, including Jason, Devin, Davis, Hudson, and Stella, and Doc, their career change pet.
I would like to say one more thing about my puppy raisers. They are going to come to my home and visit us, and I just cannot wait.
On the screen behind us, we have a picture of Flint and his puppy raising crew. And the picture is of Flint, and he's a yellow lab, and he's looking up at the camera with his puppy raising family and his recall pennant preparing to load the truck back to campus for formal training. So, yeah. And then I have one more announcement or team to introduce. We had a team complete in-home training during our scheduled class time, and would like to congratulate Miss Kathy Sullivan of Toronto, Ontario. Kathy received Nunzio, a male black Labrador retriever raised by Isaac Clonch of Salt Lake City, Utah, and Parker Scott of Salt Lake City, Utah. I have a little note from Kathy, and it reads, "Hello to all from the great city of Toronto and Ontario, Canada. A big shout out to the fabulous training staff at GDB. Many thanks to all the Oregon campus for training my extremely clever black lab named Nunzio. I love how quickly he learns and what a great memory he has. Once the task is cemented, he doesn't forget. He is fearless with his approach to large intersections and just loves to walk. What a match. We walk about 5 miles a day. Many thanks to Nunzio's puppy raisers for his outstanding behavioral qualities. I've never seen a dog jump so fast when I echoed the come command. Lastly, I want to thank GDB for my home training. My trainer, Chuck Ferrugia, was simply outstanding. We completed 3 routes a day, and Nunzio was happy to work in all conditions. The training experience and my new guide dog, Nunzio, have prepared me to travel freely once again. Signed, Kathy Sullivan and Nunzio."
And it's Mallory. I'm back to talk to the class once again. Congratulations as our newest graduates of guide dogs. Next, we're going to have a guide work demo. I'm going to pause real quick to grab, oh, never mind, Richard's going to grab a bench for us. So Savannah is working with a yellow lab named Parakeet, and she's going to show us a little bit about clicker training with a dog. So as many of you probably know, we use the clicker to help teach the dogs a lot of the skills that they use in their new jobs. So the click is a really precise way to tell the dog that that's exactly what we wanted them to do. And afterwards, they always get a kibble as a reinforcer. And as you can see, it makes them very excited to do all the different commands. Savannah's doing some hand targeting with her, so Parakeet has learned that if she touches Savannah's fist, there'll be a click and a cookie. And this is a really nice tool because the clients are able to take this skill so that they can teach their dog different targets in their home area. So it might be the door to their apartment building, the ATM that they use, or a bench at a park or a bus stop. So as Parakeet is learning with the hand target, this bench is a target, not an obstacle. So after Savannah puts her hand target, Parakeet touches it, gets a click, and a kibble so that she knows this is exactly what we want to find later. And as they add more distance, Parakeet will start to anticipate and pull out ahead, and that's how we know that she might be ready to find it on her own. So we'll let Parakeet work and see if she has learned her target. Excellent job, Parakeet. Thank you, Savannah and Parakeet. They'll stay on stage at the end to answer any questions anyone has. For everyone in person and online, thank you so much for attending graduation today. It's been lovely to celebrate all of the new partnerships. If you know of anyone who is interested in either the Canine Buddy program or a guide dog, please send them to our website at guidedogs.com. And for those of you in person, there'll be some refreshments out in the lobby behind you and on the left. And we look forward to see everyone at the next graduation.